tied for first.
I'm just not scared of these guys.
Can the Lions win the NFC North this year? Yes. Will they?
King of the North!
And Aaron Rodgers is throwing the ball to 12-year-olds and a 45-year-old Randall Cobb.
I'm enjoying it.
The Lions' offensive line is a hell of a lot better than the Vikings.
I don't think we have to temper our expectations, Smitty.
King of the North. You like that?
It's only week 2. And as a Lions fan, goddamn, I'm going to enjoy that we're second in the division.
God damn it, man.
The NFC. I'm going to enjoy this shit while we got it.
We're tied for first.
I don't give a shit. I'm enjoying it while it's here, all right? NFC North, 1-1, 1-1, 1-1. I got the list actually right now. I believe the Minnesota Vikings, the Minnesota Vikings are number 1 right now. They have the division victory over the Green Bay Packers.
Yes, they do.
The Green Bay Packers are number 2. They had the division victory over the Bears. However, they lost the division to the Vikings. Detroit Lions third. Nonetheless, 1-1, 1-1, 1-1. It's for grabs right now. We're keeping it a buck.
It's week 2, man.
It's week 2, but very much for grabs. I'm just not.
RELAX.
Maybe. Are you thoroughly convinced in any of these teams right now?
No, I'm not. That is a good point. It is up for grabs this year. We've seen that the Vikings are human. We've seen, that was my pick to win the division. I thought they had the most complete team. We saw them get manhandled by the Eagles. And that was a team that we put up 35 points against. We know that Aaron Rodgers is throwing the ball to 12-year-olds and a 45-year-old Randall Cobb. He doesn't have a lot of great options there. Sammy Watkins.
Sammy Watkins had a
Sammy who was their other? Alan Lazard. Yeah, it's he not looking good on the offensive end for them either. Although they still have Aaron Jones and AJ Dillon, which is a pretty tough combination. But you look at what the Eagles did to the Vikings last night, and it does give you hope as a Lions fan. Like we said, the Lions have scored 35 points in 3 straight games. 35 plus points in 3 straight games. The Vikings only scored 7 points against that Eagles team that the Lions put 35 up in week 1.
That
Dalvin
is
Cook
correct.
only had 17 yards rushing in 6 attempts. We saw what DeAndre Swift did week 1 against that same Eagles front. So if there's one thing it tells me that the Lions' offensive line is a hell of a lot better than the Vikings. So I expect them to go out there next week, and I expect them to dominate in the trenches. Hopefully our guys are healthy. Hopefully they're back. But it is still very early. Very early. So Lions fans need to temper their expectations before they're talking about winning divisions. Could it happen? Yes. Will it happen?
Why are you saying that,
not.
though? Why are you saying temper your expectations?
Because it's week 2.
But just per everything we're giving right now, as you said.
Yeah, you remember how the Packers looked after week 1 last year? They got dotted last year.
Aaron Rodgers is notorious for going down in week 1. But this week 2, yes, they did beat a team, the Chicago Bears. Ever being realistic about the Bears, I know they beat the 49ers in a mud fest.
Yeah.
You know saying that?
Slot bowl.
Yeah, they play in a high school field. What the hell's going on with that? You're a professional organization.
Yeah, that was embarrassing.
That is wild to me. But I mean, hey, it benefits them. You know what I'm saying? They came out on top of that one. San Francisco, California team headed into that shit show. I'll just call it. It is what it is. But the Packers beat them.
Yes.
At home. I'm not taking a big chunk away from that one. You know what I'm saying? And I get it is Aaron Rodgers, but I'll say this too. He looked old.
Aaron Rodgers?
He's looking like he's starting to age a little bit. And I'm like an Andy Rodgers truther, I guess. I don't know. I've always defended him as okay, yeah, you may hate him as a Lions fan, but you can't deny that man's cold. You know what I'm saying? As Stephen A. Smith said, that's a bad man. I talked about it last week. Everyone used to deride their offensive line. If you ever watch his highlight tape from back in the day, the people are back there. He's just running back and forth, and, just whipping it down somewhere right on the money because it's Aaron effing Rodgers.
Oh, Aaron Rodgers, he's a bad man.
He's a bad man.
The guy is a legend.
Well, gets the Bears, he's doing it again.
Yeah.
Not the same pep in the step. He was struggling to get out of bounds, galloping, and
I still own you.
He still does own
him.
He
owns Chicago.
Definitely owns Chicago. He's minority owner of the Chicago Bears. But I don't think we have to temper our expectations, Smitty. I really don't. I think this division is up for grabs. As much as Aaron Rodgers is a bad man, he is on the back half of his career, the back 9, as some people say.
Yeah.
The Minnesota Vikings, they did look scary. This is a new coaching staff. This is a team that gave us our first victory last year. We saw him. I thought last night we were going to see a shootout for sure.
Yes.
Kirk Cousins, 221 yards, 1 touchdown, 3 interceptions. You have weapons, bro.
Weapons. Multiple weapons.
Irv Smith Jr., who I think is a dog. It can be the dog at tight end when healthy.
Yeah.
Justin Jefferson, arguably the best wide receiver in the NFL.
Yes.
Adam Thielen's nothing to sneeze at. I know that he had a couple of injuries he's bouncing back from. KJ Osborne, had his moments last year.
I like
and obviously
KJ Osborne.
Dalvin Cook and Alexander Madison. That's the defense that we put up 35 on. I get that we were home, and that was the Eagles' home opener, and there's Monday Night Football as a rowdy bunch, and maybe that does take part in it. We saw the Eagles have multiple false starts and whatnot, but 7 points with that squad.
Yeah, it's tough. That is tough. You can't really find any excuses other than he was just trash. Other than Kirk Cousins was just ass.
And he's known to do that.
And
every
he's
once
known
in a
to
while.
do that. It happens. So if we can catch him on an off day. If we can have the same success that the Lions had against Carson Wentz rushing the passer against Kirk Cousins, because Kirk Cousins, again, he is he's not a mobile guy. He is a stand-in, pocket quarterback.
He can run a little bit.
He
but
can
not
run a
like,
little bit,
yeah,
but
yeah.
not
He's
as
not
much
Jalen
as
Hurts.
Jalen Hurts.
100%.
He is not a mobile quarterback by any means. He can move his feet a little bit, but that's it. So if Hutchinson can have that same success, if Julian Okwara can have those same success where he had 5 pressures, where he had the highest pass rush win rate in the NFL last week, I could see it. I could see it happening because as good as Justin Jefferson is, you can't get him the ball if you're sitting on your ass. If Hutch is driving you into the ground, doesn't matter how good your weapons are if you can't get him the ball. So
who do you think is better, Wentz or Cousins?
Probably Carson Wentz. I mean,
I think so too.
Overall, it's
Skill
tough, dude.
skill set for skill set, I think it's Wentz. He makes stupid decisions.
Yeah.
But skill set wise, I think he throws a prettier ball. I think he's a larger man. He can run. He's more mobile than Cousins.
He is.
2 sacks on him last night for that for the Philadelphia Eagles defense. They only had 1 sack on us, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
Or maybe they had 2. I could have it wrong. Again, it's just one game. You see things like this. It happens, just like the Bengals lost to the Cowboys. Just weird stuff happens. It's NFL. Any given Sunday is a thing. But another thing I want to point to, Jalen Hurts last night. We know, I think we agree all in this room, that he's not known as a thrower of the football. He's more of like an athlete back there. 26 for 31 last night, 333 yards.
Got him up.
He wasn't doing that to the Lions defense.
He had a couple nice passes. He had like a 50-yard touchdown to Quez Watkins. It was impressive, man. And he wasn't doing that to the Lions defense. We saw Jeff Okudah again stepping up in week 2. Maybe we got something there.
Against Terry McLaurin, bro.
Against Terry McLaurin.
I'm telling you, I know we have PTSD. I fully understand. I have it too. It was happening to me during the second half of that game against the Commanders. I don't think we have to temper expectations, man. I think this division truly is up for grabs. The only one that you could... The Packers, because Aaron Rodgers has been doing it for so goddamn long.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? He is him, but...
They were talking about, I forget what announcer it was, I think it was Chris Collinsworth, or one of them were talking about how Aaron Rodgers is getting so old that his best friends on the team are the coaches.
Yeah. He's older than his coach.
Yeah.
He is older than his coach.
Yeah, he's still a dog, He's still back-to-back MVP.
Yeah.
It's tough to defeat that, but we'll see. He doesn't have Devontae Adams. He doesn't have Jordy Nelson. He doesn't have the guys that he's used to having. Greg Jennings, Donald Driver. He doesn't have those guys. He's got Christian Watson, Romeo Doubs, and Sammy Watkins. So we'll see. Maybe those guys turn into something. Maybe this is the first year of a fall off for Aaron Rodgers. Obviously, it's hard to predict. Like we said, we got coming off back-to-back MVP seasons, but it's got to happen sooner or later. And if you don't got anybody that can catch the ball, it doesn't matter how good you are.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think he'll make something of those guys. It's just they're going to have to mature throughout the season as the season goes along, and he's going to have to put them in those situations. But, they haven't looked as good as I thought they'd be. I thought my guy, not Watkins, but Watson from North Dakota State, I thought he was going to be a dog. You remember in Studio B, I was kind of freaking out over that draft pick. They got a 6'4" guy. He runs a 4'3". Like, that was nerve-wracking to me. I think Sammy Watkins can still be a weapon, but is Bakhtiari back yet? Did he play last week? He's still not back?
Yeah.
Hopefully he's still by the time they come around and play us, but in terms of gaining ground for the division, I'm telling you, I'm not tempering my expectations. I got a couple stats here for the Detroit Lions offense as well. All right, first in rushing yards, 7.2 yards per carry. And that's with, reminder, last week, all those runs up the gut, those are 3 backups. tied for first in touchdowns, as you noted. First for 20-yard plus plays, 11, the most in the league. Like Johnson, though, he's putting on a coaching clinic, bro. He put on a coaching clinic, man. Tied for second in points scored. And that's another thing too. Oh man, I'll keep going. Third in rushing, fourth in total yards. I'm not tipping myself, man. I think it might be up for grabs. Maybe. I could be tripping. I know golf. We got golf, and I do feel crazy saying this, but I'm just not scared of these guys. I'm really not. And we got a favorable schedule.
Can the Lions win the NFC North this year? Yes. Will they? I'm not ready to put a stamp on it yet. I'd like to see them play the Vikings first, at least.
JB, I know it sounds like I'm on Kool-Aid. I 100% understand this, guys. And again, we've seen the Lions. We're fans of the Lions, bro. But like logically, like am I not spitting facts though?
There's some weight to what you're saying right now.
It's all weight.
I know. I agree with you,
Heavyweight.
But still, I think I've got to side with Spence on this one. This is just a small sample size that we're seeing right now. It's just been 2 games right now. We can't just sit here and claim it already. Because, I mean, if you look at the rest of the NFC North, you got Vikings, Packers, Bears. They've already showed you their hand. We already know their weaknesses pretty much. The Vikings from last night, you've seen that. If you get pressure on Kirk Cousins, my man folds like a lawn chair.
Yes.
The Bears, I mean, they don't even know which way the end zone is pretty much. And the Packers, I mean, they're still the Kings as it is right now. I mean, Aaron Rodgers is, as Spence said, throwing the 12-year-olds, so he has to get that wide receiving corps picked out. So, do the Lions have a chance? Yes. Will they? Probably not.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not saying they will, but the conversation. That's all I'm saying.
There's a chance.
I'm saying there's a chance, ladies and gentlemen. I'm telling you right now, there's a chance. There's a chance.
King of the North.
King of the North!
And you like that?